something good happens. And for about 4 seconds, you let yourself feel it. Then it starts. The quiet scan. The background calculation running beneath everything, locating the thing that's going to go wrong. The job offer feels too good, so you start mentally cataloging the reasons it probably won't work out. The relationship is going well, so you find yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop. The week has been suspiciously smooth, and instead of feeling grateful, you feel something closer to dread. Like you're being set up. People around you notice. They tell you to just enjoy it, to be present. To stop looking for problems that aren't there yet. And you want to. You genuinely do. But the scan doesn't turn off. It runs quietly and continuously, the way a smoke detector runs even when there's no smoke, because the whole point is to catch it before it becomes a fire. Here's what most people get wrong about this. They assume it's pessimism. A character flaw. A failure of gratitude. But pessimism is a belief that things will go badly. This is something different. This is a felt sense, almost physical, that the good thing in front of you is provisional. Borrowed. That enjoying it fully is somehow naive, because you know from experience, your specific, personal experience, that things end. In 2010, researcher Brené Brown gave this feeling a name. She called it foreboding joy. In her research on vulnerability and emotional experience, she found something that surprised her, that joy was, for many people, the most terrifying emotion of all. Not because they didn't want it, but because they'd learned, somewhere along the way, that joy makes you vulnerable. That the higher you let yourself feel something, the further there is to fall when it goes, and so, the brain offers what feels like a solution. Pre-emptive grief. If you start mourning the loss of the good thing while you still have it, the actual loss will hurt less. If you hold the happiness at a slight distance, enough to keep one eye on the exit, you won't be blindsided, you will have seen it coming. You will have been, in some very specific and exhausting way, prepared. This is the logic. And it is not irrational. It is the product of a nervous system that learned through actual evidence that good things are followed by bad ones. That calm is what happens just before the disruption. That trusting the good moment was, at some point in your history, something you paid for. Think about what that history might have looked like. A childhood where stability was real but fragile, where things were fine until suddenly they weren't. A relationship that started beautifully and ended in a way that rewired how you hold the beginning of things. A run of success that collapsed so specifically and so fast that your nervous system filed it under. This is what happens when you stop watching. The brain is a pattern recognition machine. And if the pattern it recognized early enough, consistently enough, was good things don't last, then your anticipation of loss isn't pessimism. It's a learned prediction, a deeply rational response to the data your life has given you. The clinical language for this involves hypervigilance and anxious attachment, two concepts that often share the same roots. People who grew up in environments where safety was unpredictable often develop a heightened attunement to threat. The nervous system learns to stay slightly ahead of the situation. To monitor, to not be caught off guard. And this works. Until the threat being monitored is the loss of something good. Until the thing you're protecting yourself from is your own happiness. Now here's the part that's actually hard to sit with. When you spend the good times quietly bracing for the end, you are not protecting yourself from loss. You are experiencing the loss in advance. You are living through the grief of losing something you haven't lost yet. The relationship ends in your head before it ends in reality. The job falls apart in your mind while it's still working. And so you pay the price of losing it twice, once in the anticipation, and once when it actually happens. The protection doesn't protect you. It just moves the pain earlier. And in the meantime, the actual good thing, the thing that is real and present and happening right now, you are not fully in it. You're standing slightly outside of it, watching it, waiting for it to change shape, and it does not feel like safety. It feels like watching someone else live your life while you monitor from a distance just in case. Brené Brown's research found something else. The people who experienced the most genuine joy weren't the ones who'd stopped worrying about loss. They were the ones who'd learned to practice gratitude specifically in those moments of vulnerability. Not gratitude as performance or positivity, but gratitude as a deliberate act of presence. A way of saying, this is real, I am here, I am letting it land. That's harder than it sounds. Because letting it land means accepting the vulnerability of it. It means acknowledging that yes, you could lose this. And you're choosing to feel it anyway. Not because you're naive. Because you've decided that living inside your own life, even with the risk, is worth more than watching it from behind the glass. If you're someone who does this, who is very good at survival and very bad at receiving, I want to say something directly to you. The thing you're waiting for may or may not come, but the life you're not fully inhabiting while you wait for it? That part is definitely happening. Right now, while you're watching. The scan will not protect you from loss, nothing will. But it will reliably ensure that the good things you do have are never quite yours. That's the part worth starting to question. Not your awareness, not your intelligence, not the very legitimate things your history taught you, but the assumption that preparing for the end is the same thing as being safe. It isn't, it's just the earliest possible beginning of the grief. And you don't have to start there. If this is a pattern you recognize in yourself, the difficulty receiving good things, the waiting, the quiet foreclosing of joy before it can get too big, there's a link in the description to a 7-day reset bundle built around exactly this kind of nervous system pattern. Each day gives you one specific thing to do rather than just something to think about, which is the gap where most psychology content stops short. It's in the pinned comment as well. And if you're not there yet, subscribing means more of this will find you when you're ready for it.